This is our special guest this morning, Mr. Richard Herring. Welcome back, sir. Have some receipts.
Oh, thank you. I'll use them.
The money's rubbish on this show. Get where you can, I say. Now, one of this country's finest stand-ups, Rich has just unveiled a brand new show. As It Occurs to Me is its name, and it's enjoying a 10-week run at London's Leicester Square Theatre. But, of course, with a title like As It Occurs to Me, it does suggest that you are making it up as you go along.
Well, it's a topical kind of sketch show and stand-up show that it's about whatever's happened to me in that week. So it's and anything I've thought about that week. So there's As It Occurs to Me or As It Occurs.
Quite a bit of pressure.
Yeah, it's been quite. I've been very busy. This is the first one last night, and I've been very busy, so I had a lot to talk about, but also no time to write about it. So I wrote it all on Sunday, and then we rehearsed it on Monday and did it on Monday night. And you can get
Mark's looking impressed.
You can get it on. You can get it on iTunes right now. It's straight out. So
you're doing a free podcast.
Yeah, it's absolutely. I think with the internet, it's really exciting that you can actually do it yourself now. So I tried to pitch this show to the radio, and they were kind of interested, but then they were dragging their feet. And I thought, well, why don't I can just do it myself in a theatre and then put it out, and you charge people to come and see the show, and then that hopefully covers the costs. And
you give the podcast for free, which
and then the podcast
fantastic.
is out for free, yeah.
Are you ditching every Monday? Do you ditch the material at the end of that and start?
Yeah, it's a
completely
new show every week. Yeah, so it's just like a radio sketch show, except I can be a bit ruder. I don't have to do with the compliance. I don't have to worry about offending anyone. If you're offended, then just don't download it. I can't be sacked because no one's employing me. So it's kind of perfect, really. So, and I think at the moment, you know, people because on TV and radio, people have got so edgy and worried about. You can't say anything, you know, for fear of people, as we're noticing.
That's why I keep telling Scott Kapura every time he comes here.
So you know, but I think the public generally, you know, if you're offended by things, fine, you know, don't go for it. But if you know, the public don't like being patronised, I think, really. So
talking of offence, because I mean, you stirred things up at Edinburgh, didn't you? Because you did. I mean, the tash looks very different now, but you were reclaiming Hitler's. Yeah. The Hitler-style tash.
Yeah, well, this moustache is because I'm doing it in Brighton on Friday, so I don't really like having a moustache at all. I'm going to be shaving it down. But yeah, I grew. I was trying to reclaim the moustache for comedy because obviously Charlie Chaplin had it first. Yeah. And I just wanted to see. You know, it's so associated with Hitler now. There are loads of people had it, and I just wanted to see what would happen if I wore it and had it. And it was actually hardly anything really happened. People just laughed at you a lot, you know, sniggered at you, and no, it didn't get. I thought I might get into trouble. I thought I might, get into fights and things. But people just are confused by it, I think, or don't judge. You know,
just didn't find I thought stepping behind you as you walk down.
You've got a few little sea Kyles and Hey Adolf and that sort of thing. But I actually think maybe people are a bit scared of you because they think, well, why would you have that moustache? Either because you're a bit crazy or you're incredibly tough. I
or
guess.
You're in Sparks.
Yeah, you could be in Sparks. I mean, he's one of the few people who've done it. So I was just in, but it turned into being actually this show gets a mention because I was on this show with Carol Thatcher back in February. And it's about that, again, it's about the nature of offence and it's about what you can and can't say. And it's sort of, through doing it, it became like I realised you could use it as a symbol to kind of fight fascism and fight prejudice, like a kind of Red Nose Day thing. But so I'm kind of trying to, I'm trying to make Charlie Chaplin's birthday the kind of a day for democracy because the BNP only got into because people didn't go out and vote. Basically, they got the same number of votes as they got the last European elections because people didn't go out to vote. They got in, so it's actually the fault of the people who didn't vote as much as the people who did vote. So I'm trying to, use it as a symbol to encourage people to remember the importance of voting. Or what happens if you don't vote is that fascists like Hitler, not for a minute saying the BNP are fascists.
The revolution starts on this show every morning live on 5. Go on, Mark. Sorry,
this is really interesting. No, this is really interesting because the BBC have just recently put out a whole lot of guidelines for people doing humour, comedy. What do you reckon about your moustache? Do you think that a quango would have to be set up if you went to the BBC?
Well, it's interesting because people judged it. Well, and part of the show was about whether people would judge it. And there was an article in the Guardian before the show came out saying, I was going on stage saying maybe racists have a point and quoting things out of context, and actually that was within the context of a joke, a sketch that was about why racists don't have a point. And so people do make judgments about, but actually the show is an intelligent show that's looking at issues and is very much anti-fascism and pro-democracy, and you're not treating your audience as if they're stupid. You're letting people think about these issues, and I actually think it's very important to let the BNP speak, because if you let them speak, they'll say the rubbish they say, and people will go, this is ridiculous, because their arguments don't hold up. So it's interesting to explore their arguments. Like, I saw a guy from the BNP saying, that we've been English in this country for 16,000 years.
Yeah.
We don't want immigrants coming in and spoiling our Englishness. And you go, well, have you read any history in your life?
The French.
And, you know, and what were those people who were British 16,000 years ago? Where did they come from? They came from abroad.
Yeah.
You know, we're a nation of immigrants. So, and in fact, we all come from Africa originally. So, you know, I think people who, if they don't like immigrants, the BNP, they should
move
off back to Africa where they came from.
It takes the burden of hate mail that I receive off me and passes it nicely on to you, which is excellent.
Well, it confuses them because I do also have a Hitler moustache, so the BNP don't know which way to turn with me.
It's great to have you here. Great to have you with us this morning as well.